Hello and welcome. If you are a geography student, a geologist, an ecologist, or a computer scientist, maybe you have encountered a file with a GeoJson extension. I am the AI Geologist Guy, and if you want to know more about this type of files, you are in the right place. By the end of this video, you will understand how GeoJson works and how to create and use GeoJson data for mapping and analysis. Let's get started. Okay, so first of all, what is a GeoJSON? GeoJSON is a data format based on two things: Geo for geographic data and JSON, the format it's built on. But before we understand GeoJSON, let's take a quick look at what JSON actually is and why developers love it. Everything in GeoJSON is made up of key-value pairs like name, earthquake A. What makes GeoJSON so powerful is how universal it is. Developers use it to send data between servers and web apps, or to store things like settings, configurations, or user data. It's supported by almost every programming language out there. And here is the best part. JSON is both machine readable and human readable. You can open a JSON file in a text editor and instantly understand what's going on. In short, JSON is the language of internet when it comes to structured data, and that's why GeoJSON, being just JSON formats, fits perfectly in modern workflows that involve this data and web. Now that we understand JSON, let's talk about GeoJSON. GeoJSON is a simple JSON adapted to represent geographic features like points, lines, and areas. It lets us describe things like points, lines, and polygons in format that's easy to read and widely supported by mapping tools like QGIS, ArcGIS, or SQL databases like Postgres and web browsers. Here is what makes GeoJSON special. It takes the same structure of key-value pairs you saw in JSON and adds geographic meaning to it. For example, a simple GeoJSON may look like this. It's the most easy example where we have a type feature that tells us it's a single geographic object, the geometry section that defines what kind of shape it is, in this case a point, and its coordinates, longitude and latitude, and the properties. This section holds any extra information that you want to attach to the geometry. And here is an important detail that GeoJSON uses standard geographic coordinate reference systems, the WGS 84, which is the same system used by GPS, and it's global. A reference system is basically a way to describe locations in Earth using coordinates that everyone understands. And coordinates in GeoJSONs are always written as longitude and latitude in decimal degrees. For example, 125.6, 10.1 means 125.6 degrees east and 10.1 degrees north. If you want to represent coordinates in the South Pole, it will be with negative values. So to conclude, GeoJSON is really two things in one: the location or shape, like a point, line, or area, and the data or attributes attached to it, like names, categories, or measurements. In this slide, we are gonna talk about the types of GeoJSON. The types represent the variety of geometry that let you represent everything from a single location to a complex spatial datasets. And this is the basic types. A point, that's a single location, example, a coordinate of the city center or a measurement of GPS, a line string, that's a sequence of points forming a line, and you can represent roads or rivers. Polygon, a closed shape representing an area like a country or a lake. And then we have the geometry collection, that it is a container that holds multiple geometries of different types. For example, a point and a polygon together. But this type of geometry is special because it doesn't hold properties. You only can include locations. Then we have feature. Feature is a single spatial object that combines a geometry, like a point or line string, with an associated data called properties. For example, a single location with its names, population, and category. And then we have the feature collection, a group of multiple features bundled together in one file. Each feature can have its own geometry and properties. And this is the common top-level structure used in GeoJSON files and the most common. And all of these types follow the same structure. Geometries define shape and location, while properties hold descriptive data. Property can include data type attributes like number, strings, categories, times, and even nested data. Okay, folks, so now that we already know what is a GeoJSON and the types of geometry that it has, I want to show you two websites that are very useful when working with GeoJSON. The first of them is geojson.io. It is a very helpful website because it can help us to create geometries, or we can put in the right part in the text editor or GeoJSON and modify it and see on the map how it will be displayed, and we can change the properties. Okay, for this example, first of all, we will create a point. We can see in the text editor that the type of geometry that used is feature collection. As we said, it's a more common, and because we can put in here all the geometries that we want. And for this example, we are gonna put a point in the capital of Riyadh, and we can see the coordinates, and also we can add the different properties in here. Moreover, we can add more geometries. We can create a polyline, and it will be stored with the different coordinates of the points that form the polyline. And also we can add a polygon. We can explore it, we can change things in the text editor, and then if you wanna convert it in a GeoJSON, it's as easy as select it and then go to our preferred text editor. We paste the information, and when saving, we'll save it as a txt, but then we can change the extension to a JSON or GeoJSON. Doesn't matter which extension it is. Okay, another website that I want to show you is GeoJson AI. because sometimes if you wanna get a simple GeoJSON from an administrative unit like France or a town, it's very difficult to obtain it, and you have to navigate to different websites. And this website is very helpful because with the help of AI, it lets us create GeoJSONs from administrative boundaries. For this example, we are going to create a GeoJSON from Barcelona. We can visualize it in the map, and then we can download it. And we can visualize the information in the geojson.io website, and it helps us for this. Okay, folks, that's all for today. As we said earlier, GeoJSON is a popular format in the GIS industry. It can be used through quantum GIS or ArcGIS. It's also very used in Postgres, and it helps to share data between servers and web browsers. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you have any recommendation for the next video, please let me know in the comments. Bye bye.